Hi all! Everything in my video is pulled from the public domain, and I am using them under the Fair Use, Fair Dealings guidelines. Everything I say is my own opinion. You should look into this information for yourselves, but I'm pretty sure I'm right. Good morning, everybody. Once again, here we go. Royals, and royals. We've got Catherine and William. We've got the Duke of Kent. We have the Queen. We've got Camilla. We've got Charles. And we have Harry and Meghan. So let's just jump in with both feet and get there because there is a lot to cover today. Let's go. We're going to start off with Anne this morning because she's in Northern Ireland and she's making a lot of visits. So here she's at the St. John Ambulance Cadet Centenary. And you guys remember I showed you yesterday that she was going to a garden party that was hosted by the Secretary of State for Northern Ireland? Well, finally some photos came out. Anne looked amazing as always. She looks good with this yellow-blue combination. I really like the hat on her. Anyway, she looks like she had a really good time. Looks like she was able to mingle and talk with a lot of people. And believe it or not, they're still having these visits to celebrate the Queen's Jubilee, even though that's over. When that was over, she went to the Irish Equine Rehabilitation and Fitness Center in Ballinderry. Perfect for her. We all know how she loves horses. Moving on. Charles and Camilla continue their tour of Wales. They are out and about meeting people. They've received a very, very warm welcome, I've noticed, while they were there at this particular function and all of them. Next up, Charles and Camilla went to see the new statue of Betty Campbell. Miss Campbell was the very first Black woman to become a head teacher in Wales, and she introduced Black culture into the curriculum at her school. Love the statue. Charles met her before when he went to visit her classroom at the Mount Stewart Primary School in Cardiff in 1994. Next up, Charles and Camilla went to see, I hope I'm saying this right, Treorchy High School in Rhondda, Wales. And people were so excited to see them. The crowds came out. Watch this. See, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, the crowds love them. The kids love them. Everybody was happy to see them. They were soaking it up. That's the way it should be. But soon it was time to say goodbye to the throngs of crowds because they had to go to the BBC. That's when Charles and Camilla got to meet the team. Fabulous. Now, at some point after this, Charles made his way into a pub somewhere and poured himself a well-deserved pint. Then he and Camilla left. Good for them. As Camilla waves goodbye, we're going to move on to our next story where they went to a school to open up a library, and Camilla met a little girl who was practicing her royal wave. They read a book. There was a dog there. There's a little video clip for you. Watch this.
Well, all the children.
Yeah, lays on his back.
Yeah. Do you like him?
Next up, they sang happy birthday to her in Welsh. How cool is that? And they had a cake for her. Watch this. Next up, moving on, the Queen's clothing is on display. These are the kind of things that I love to see. Look at all of that. I can only pray that stuff like this is still available when I eventually make it to the UK next year. Yes, I will be there. Oh, I hope this stuff is still there. Looking lovely as always. All right, moving on, we have The Duke of Kent, who went to see the UK's largest display of historic lifeboats at Chatham Historic Dockyard, 26 years after opening the original collection in 1996, and he has been their president for over half a century. So after meeting volunteers and staff, he presented a certificate to commemorate his visit for the Queen's Platinum Jubilee. All right, next up. We talked before about the fact that William was going to participate in a charity polo match. I believe it's covering like 10 different charities that he's involved with. They did not bring the kids. They did bring the dog, Orlo, I believe his name is. Anyway, they looked fabulous. Once again, Kate looked wonderful. And there was none of this bodyguards every 2 steps away kind of thing going on. As you can see, they were just kind of standing out there. Such normal people. And good for William. Doesn't he look good up on that horse? And by the way, just to show you the difference between Harry and Meghan, William's team raised £1 million. Yes. So he goes in for the kiss, and instead of smack on the lips with the lipstick and let me wipe it off, he gives a very respectful kiss to his wife. And then instead of one leading the other along like a little kid, they walk off side by side like partners. Love it. All right, let's look back now on the fact that 7 years ago, as of July 5th, it was the day that Charlotte was christened and Prince George attended, and it was the Church of St. Mary Magdalene in Sandringham. The whole family was in attendance. The Queen looked very pleased in these photos. So you might be wondering, why are we bringing up the 7-year anniversary? That's an easy one. The Sussex squad was so jealous. They took a picture that Catherine at the baptism, it might have been George, holding the baby, and they put Meghan's face on it. That just shows you that's where they think Meghan should be. That's the whole problem. And of course, we also have this creepy one where she's president. Next up, we've discussed this before, but I'm just going to point it out again. Meghan's team is putting out, Meghan was cleared of the bullying allegation. She was cleared. She wasn't cleared. If she was cleared, she and Harry would be demanding the release of the report. They are not demanding the release of the report because they know the report found a lot of problems, which is why they made changes to their HR policy. And now, apparently, new allegations of bullying are coming out since the independent report. You just can't make this up. All right, next up, remember, Harry's suing the Home Office because he wants his internationally protected person status back because I guess he and Meghan are getting tired of paying for security. Now, they were told, or Harry was told when he left, that was going to happen. He agreed to it, but then when he realized how much it was going to cost, he changed his mind. Now, this, as you can see, reports that it's starting tomorrow. That's not true. What's actually happening tomorrow is they're having a hearing to determine if the case can go forward. So the case may not even go forward if the case has no merit. And I couldn't help but notice these comments, this top one talking about, I thought they just became financially independent. So if they're financially independent, let them pay for their own security. I completely agree. Liverpool Duck pointed out, aptly so, that they were given a bulletproof car while they were in the UK. And what did Meghan do? She rolled the window down so everybody could see them. So obviously they're really not that scared and they're really not in that much danger if she's going to do that. Summer Girl pointed out the same thing about rolling down the window. And my point was, let's not forget when they were up in that office watching Trooping the Color, the two of them both went very close to an open window to shush the children. Anybody with a rifle with a high-powered lens could have shot them. Obviously, they don't feel that unsafe. Now the stories are coming out there, that Meghan is moving in a different avenue than Harry. Tell us something we don't know. She's the fame-grabbing, hungry, I want attention person. He really, I believe, really did want that private, quiet life, but he was never going to get that with her, and he should have realized it. All right, let's move on to this story, and if you guys think it's real or not. It's being stated that Harry and Meghan went to Jackson Hole, Wyoming, probably by private jet, to go watch a July 4th parade. Now, I have several issues with this story. First of all, supposedly a bodyguard was saving seats for them. And as you can see from these crowds, you had to bring your own seats. I don't think anybody was allowed to save seats. But does it surprise me if they were there that Meghan would have a bodyguard saving their spot? Nope. Now, if it turns out that this is them, then I have to say that Meghan is doing the same thing to Archie that she does to Harry. Look at her. Her hand is on him at all times. She can't just let him stand there and wave his flag. No, she's touching him. Touching. Poor kid can't get a break. He can't just stand there and wave his flag. And then you go to Harry, who's just kind of standing there. And people are like, is that really Harry? That sure looks like Harry. Here it is a little closer. But you know what else I noticed? Look how sagging down. He's wearing the jeans that are sagging down his rear end, like the younger generation does. I wonder if he realizes this is how inmates used to tell other inmates they were up for sex. Anyway, what caught my attention was this watch when I was trying to determine if that was Harry or not. That does appear to be the same watch band kind that he's been seen wearing in the past. Now, sometimes the face of it is white and sometimes black, but it's the same band. He's been seen wearing it at Invictus. He's been seen wearing it while he was in the military, and you even saw a peek of it coming out from under his sleeve when he was at his wedding. So the question is, was this Meghan? So let's look at this picture that was taken in Uvalde just 3 months ago, right? Or 2 months ago. And look how tight her bra was. And so she put a white shirt on over it, trying to cover her back fat that was spilling out of the bra. Also, notice how untoned her arms are. Now notice in this picture how broad her back is. So suddenly, here's supposedly pictures of her at a July 4th parade, and suddenly she doesn't have a broad back anymore. She's got toned arms, and she's dropped 30 pounds. Yeah, something ain't right here. If that was really her, there should be one picture of her face, and there isn't. Now, there's one other thing that kind of tickles the back of my head. Why were they in Jackson, Wyoming? This is considered to be, as you can see from Johnny Boy, the millionaire playground for those who want to play at being cowboys. Not to mention, it's a huge Second Amendment state and just enacted their lovely abortion trigger law. So you have to wonder, there was something else going on. That's why they were there. You know what I mean? They just happened to be there? No, something else was happening behind the scenes. So once again, lots and lots and lots of information. I want you guys to leave your comments and let me know what the heck you think is going on. And do you think that was Harry and Meghan? And do you think it just happens to be a coincidence that they just happened to fly to Wyoming, which I can almost guarantee you was on yet another private jet, and they just happened to have their photos taken, but yet nobody's taking a picture of them from the front? How odd is that? Like, you wouldn't walk around and take a picture from the front? Very odd. All right, leave those comments. You know I want them. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. If you're already subscribed, double check. Make sure you're still subscribed. Don't forget you can follow me on Twitter, on Getter, on Rumble. You can email me. For those of you who have donated to my coffee fund through my link and through the thank you button, thank you so much. And as always, you guys, have a great day.